There are a few songs that when you first hear them, they immediately get stuck in your head. The reason this happens is because a song is catchy and you may feel the song is a great song. It is really annoying when a song you don't like gets in your head. For many Disney fans, this has been a dilemma when riding It's a Small World in the Magic Kingdom, Disneyland Park, Tokyo Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, and Hong Kong Disneyland. It's a Small World is certainly an earworm and is played repeatedly during the boat ride, which is the reason some people find it annoying to listen to. But if you really listen to the song and think about the meaning of both the attraction and the song, there's a reason it's such a famous piece of music. This video is brought to you by the Magic Candle Company. I'm a huge fan of Disney park smells, but what happens when I'm at home and not at the parks? Can I still smell those smells? Yes! Magic Candle Company brings you the best smells from around the world to your home. From riding a banshee to a Hawaiian lobby, Magic Candle Company has you covered with small and large candles, fragrance oils, wax melts, and more. So head down and hit my link in the description and be sure to use code BIGBEAUTIFULDIZ15 for 15% off your entire order. I've been burning their candles and using their fragrance oils for many years, and I can tell you they are fantastic. Again, head to the link in the description and be sure to use BIGBEAUTIFULDIZ15 for 15% off your entire order. Big thank you to Magic Candle Company, and now on to the video. It's a Small World is a boat ride located in Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, Tokyo Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, and Hong Kong Disneyland. The song is on a loop that is played throughout the attraction. It is debated that It's a Small World could be the most played song in history. Urban planner Robert Moses from New York approached Walt Disney about creating attractions for the 1964-65 New York World's Fair. The ideas of making new attractions with new ride technology and making them for an East Coast audience interested Walt. So he agreed that 4 attractions would be made. A boat ride idea had long been in development at Wynn Enterprises in Burbank. Walt Disney was quickly notified that the pavilion had gained a sponsor for the UNICEF Pavilion. Pepsi would sponsor the pavilion, and the boat ride would tie in with UNICEF's company and have to do with nations around the world. The nations would be represented with audio animatronic children dolls. Walt wanted each country's children to be singing that country's national anthem, but he scrapped this idea after being convinced that the noise would bleed into the other show scenes. Walt decided it would be best to write an original song for the attraction that would play throughout the boat ride. He turned to Al Sherman's sons to write the song. The songwriters' names are Robert B. Sherman and Richard M. Sherman. They previously wrote pop hits and songs for Mary Poppins. Walt Disney told the Sherman brothers that the song needed to be simple, and he said, "I want it so it can be translated into many different languages." Also, while explaining the attraction, he said, "It's a small world after all." This quote inspired them to write a song about world peace.
It's a simple child's prayer to respect each other and to learn to love each other. That's what it was saying without saying those words. And it's a very special, dear song to me. We were not trying to do a masterwork when we were doing It's a Small World. We were trying to do a very simply constructed counterpoint. So 2 melodies could be sung at the same time. And It's a Small World After All part would sing against It's a World of Laughter, a World of Tears. They would work together. And so we were working on a puzzle to get this whole thing and making it simple.
To make the song sound fun and innocent, they brilliantly made the chorus and verse have different melodies, but same chord changes. This is done to make the chorus sound different than the rest of the song, but not change the harmony throughout the song. Looking at the lyrics, yes, there is actually a second verse in It's a Small World. Most people don't remember that. They repeat the chorus twice, and it does so very close together, easily making it possible for that chorus to get stuck in guest's head. But it's also a brilliant marketing tactic by Walt to rename the attraction to the name of the song, and a great move by the Sherman brothers to make the song catchy by repeating the chorus so often.
When we first wrote It's a Small World, we wrote it as a ballad. Actually, we wrote it sort of slowly and carefully, because it was like a prayer for peace. That's what we started it. And then we started moving it into tempo later. And the world knows it as an up-tempo piece, but I'll play a little bit of it the way it was first written, because that gets the message across. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hopes and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world.
It's often theorized that It's a Small World has a hidden meaning in its lyrics. Yes, it's certainly about world peace, but quite an interesting thing to write about when there's a quote-unquote war happening. The Cold War is taking place during the 1960s, and threats of nuclear war are very much real. So much so that fallout shelters were constructed and air raid drills were implemented in the workplace and in schools. Could you imagine having a fire drill 1 week and then 1 week having like a severe weather drill, and then the very next week having a nuclear bomb threat drill? Thinking about the time this song was written, the lyrics start to take on a whole new meaning. It's a world of hopes and a world of fears. That certainly sounds like an air raid threats to me. Even through the mountains divide and the oceans are wide, it's a small world after all, could symbolize the difference between Soviet Union, Russia, and the US. When they played Small World for Walt Disney in his office, this was his thoughts.
Walt first heard it and he said, yeah, that'll work. Come with me. That was his compliment of all was, that'll work. And so we went with him down to play it for the Imagineers. He said, but I think we ought to put it in tempo.
When they were driving back to the animation building from the Wet Enterprises building, the brothers mentioned something about the royalties of the song.
UNICEF is a wonderful organization. We were roaring down the freeway going back to the studio from where we were, and Walt was driving.
I said, Walt, we'd like to donate all the royalties from this song to the kids.
He actually pulled over to the side of the road, slammed the brakes on, and said, you're not going to give those royalties away.
He said, don't be silly. You're getting a lot of money for this, and they'll make some good royalties. And it's your song. It'll pay for your kids' education.
That's your birthright. Then they just got back on the freeway and drove us back to the studio, never mentioned it again.
It's a Small World opened at the New York World's Fair. For some reason, I couldn't find the exact date, but the 1964-65 World's Fair started on April 22nd, 1964. Small World became a very popular attraction at the World's Fair, partly due to the 120-foot Tower of the Four Winds. It's a Small World was so popular that it was shipped back to Disneyland and opened permanently in Disneyland on May 28, 1966. The song was released on vinyl in 1968. The LP also includes a musical tour to visit the children of the world and narration by Winston Hibler. The record was released by Disneyland Records and has been re-released a few different times with different album covers and picture books included. It's a Small World is becoming very iconic. Not only was it popular in Disneyland, having very long lines on an average day, the song was cementing itself in pop culture. It's a Small World is so popular that when Walt Disney World opened in 1971, it was an opening day attraction at the Magic Kingdom. It was also an opening day attraction at Tokyo Disneyland in 1983, and an opening day attraction in Euro Disneyland, and opened in Hong Kong Disneyland in 2008. This meant the song was being played around 12 hours a day in 4 different countries around the world. Not to mention all the times the song has been played in the original attraction, which has been operating since 1966. It's been estimated that It's a Small World has been played nearly 50 million times. It was actually covered by the Baha Men in the Walt Disney Pictures film Around the World in 80 Days. And it was also referenced in The Lion King and Lion King 1.5.
Sing something with a little bounce in it.
It's a small world after all.
Go!
It's a small world. Everybody is a small world.
The amount of merch that has been made and sold is also insane. Pillows, shirts, magic bands, ears, bags, mugs, Funko Pops, you name it, it's probably been made. The ride itself has gotten an update in Disneyland to include Disney IP as some dolls in countries the story originated. Well, one thing stays the same, and that's the song. The song has never been changed and still plays on a continual loop throughout the attraction today. After writing It's a Small World, the Sherman Brothers continued to write many more songs for Walt Disney, and were inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2005, received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1976, and received the National Medal of the Arts in 2008. In 2022, the Library of Congress recognized Into Small World's importance and selected it to be inducted into the National Recording Registry and be preserved for generations to come. I would say that Walt was right when he told the brothers to not give away the royalties to the song. It made them a few bucks. So that is It's a Small World, one of the most iconic songs of all time. And a little bit about the attraction in there too, because you kind of have to talk about the attraction when talking about the song, because they're kind of the same. They were developed at the exact same time, and the song kind of inspired the attraction in some way. I guarantee that the Imagineers, when they heard Small World, very much based the dolls and the countries to fit the kind of theme or the kind of style that the song was going for, very childish. Let me know what you think about It's a Small World in the comments below. It's very interesting to me that some people absolutely love this song and some people absolutely hate it and refuse to go on the attraction. Me, myself, I don't go on it very often. I still like this song, and I respect it for how iconic it is. Very, very few songs are this iconic. You know, like only a couple come to mind, like a song like Bohemian Rhapsody, or a song like Freebird. Anyway, while you're down there, leave a like and consider subscribing. It would make me a very happy man. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Have a magical day, everybody.